If you're in Nairobi and you have not been to Sitam Woodley, this is your chance. Stay with us. Today we have the smart executive. Don't miss next week. What's the end game for the smart executive? Ready to work in the corporate environment and wants to make a career, a success. First of all, let me give you a few executives that characterize the thinking and the lessons that we're going to learn. Joseph, he was pretty smart and very clever. His brothers didn't quite like him. They sold him slave traders. His emotional intelligence at that point in life was really, really low. An executive called Potiphar, high-ranking officer in the government. And his brilliance came through once more. Take care of everything. And again, he got into emotional issues and he found himself in jail. Jailed where the king's prisoners were. In jail, Joseph found a mentor and eventually promoted to be the vice president of kingdom because now he had matured. He understood how to execute his duties. He was an expert. He dressed smartly. He was able to present himself. He did it properly. He was a professional. Daniel also found himself in trouble. Daniel was a prime minister for 3 governments. Imagine that. Nehemiah built a wall around the city that had been collapsed for years in 52 days. Tell me the kind of executive skills that you have. All these stories have executive functions within them. The characteristics that you find with these people. They were smart. They could present themselves well. First impressions matter, right? Warren Buffett says there are 3 qualities of smart executives. It says integrity, intelligence, and energy. People who rise within the organization are generally intelligent. You'll agree with me. They're smart people. They are so good that everybody else knows they are good and there's no way you can hide. And that's how Daniel survived. It doesn't matter whether you brought witch doctors or craftsmen or professors. He was just good. Work at what you do to the extent that people will know that you are good at what you do. Then you need emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is not about crying or laughing or being happy all the time. It's how to deal with people who may not have the same views as you and helping them to appreciate that, yes, I hear you, I feel you, but I don't agree with you, and it's okay if we don't agree. Nobody can find anything against you. And even if they do find something against you, it's because of your integrity. Imagine that. The only way to get you into jail is to say you did something right. By the time you reach that level, you're pretty good. That's really powerful. And you can be trusted by those who love you, those who hate you, and they say, no, that guy is different. Charles is different. John is different. Mary is different. If she says you're going to do it, she's going to do it. They are professional. Follow through with the process. Can your boss depend on you to voice the critical issues? Do you apply yourselves to the task? Do you have energy? The difference between the smart executive and the rest is outstanding work ethics, dependable, reliable, consistent, always present, gives their best. That's a smart executive. What are they exceptionally good at? Setting priorities. You need to know what you should be doing, when you should be doing it. Measurable in their activities, set and achieve agreed goals, practical and realistic. The story of Nehemiah, he leaves the king's palace to a faraway land. He picks all the resources he needs. Please give me some time. I need to go and build a wall. Going to build a wall is a project for several years. You get the contractor, you get the materials, Nehemiah is so focused. He gets there. Nobody knows he's there. He goes round the city and inspects it. And he takes all the measurements that's required. He sets goals and plans and how this thing is to be done. Nobody else was involved. How many times do you take time? Do you have the integrity to do the planning for this? And I don't care whether you think it's a big city wall or a small city wall. Build a city wall in 52 days. In your office, are you that focused on your priorities? Or Nehemiah didn't have the luxury of nobody was disturbing him. He had people who are ready to kill him to stop him from work. But he set priorities. He put the guards out there and says, you guard the city, execute it with precision. In spite of my boss complaining, I didn't have lunch, there was no water. All these people rose to positions of power and authority. And they knew how to handle power and authority. Now, there are some people who are put into leadership positions, but they have not been sufficiently prepared. They do a terrible job. Start your career knowing that one of these days you're going to be a leader. If you're in jail, that's not a problem. Learn from the jailer. The same principles of leadership used in the palace. Don't despise these skills. Capable, courageous, confident, and committed. Find out what it is that you need to do that will make you have the character to do what you need to do so that other people, not just your boss, but your colleagues can say, hey, you know the guy who's going to do this? That guy over there. Let him do it. It's going to work. Be part of the team. One of the things I like about Daniel is that he has his friends. Think about those skills.